What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is October 8th. It is Monday. It is a brand new week in the VR gaming world, and we do have some interesting things that are going to jump off this week. In fact, tomorrow on the 9th, Evasion will be available. Evasion will be available, and the embargo has been lifted on Evasion. And you know what? My apologies. I have not reached out to Archiac to try to get a code for Evasion. I just kind of forgot about it. And so I'm going to have to shoot them off an email right after this show here, see if I can get a code for Evasion so I can check that out and give you guys my thoughts on that tomorrow. Here is the Steam page for The Great Sea, based on the sci-fi short story by Philip K. Dick. This is going to be available tomorrow. This game will unlock in approximately 22 hours. Don't know that it's actually a game. It is a 30-minute experience developed from the ground up to push the boundaries of storytelling in VR. And I don't know if there's a price on this. I don't know if this is going to be free. Is it going to be 10 bucks, 15 bucks? Who knows? I have no idea, but I know this will be available tomorrow. And yeah, oh, you know what? Evasion on the PlayStation Store, $33.99. So it is $33.99. Here it is on the PlayStation Store, $33.99. Its normal price is 40 buccarinos. But you save 5% with PlayStation Plus. So I guess this is a $39.99 game. So certainly not a cheap game, not for the faint of heart. That is Evasion, but it is probably one of the biggest releases that we are going to have for this next week. We don't really have a ton of major primetime games coming in the month of October. October is a relatively light month overall, and Evasion probably is the biggest game, and I'm excited for it. You know, there's already reviews on like Upload VR and stuff like that, so it kind of seems like a bullet hell kind of a space shooter. Phil Yarn says it looks like a mixture between Farpoint and Space Pirate Trainer, so an interesting mixture there. But yeah, the price is pretty freaking steep at 39, you know, 40 bucks. 40 bucks, you're expecting like Lone Echo 2 for 40 bucks. You're expecting Defector for 40 bucks. You're expecting Blood and Truth for 40 bucks, you know, for PlayStation VR. Astro Bot is 40 bucks. You're expecting a real primetime game for 40 bucks. And Evasion could be that. It really could. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see what happens there. But here is what Fluke had to say. This was 2 days ago. This was on episode 222, the Berlin Blitz VR episode. And Fluke says, let me go ahead and open that up. He kind of wrote a long diatribe here. So here's what he had to say. So my copy of Astro Bot turned up this morning. After the past couple of days of everyone going utterly crazy about it, I was looking forward to diving in. And yes, it's good. Very good. But has everyone gone batshit insane and lost their minds? This has been mentioned before, but it seems that as soon as a decent game comes out for VR, we're so desperate for proper quality content that the community loses their collective mind and overhypes it way beyond what it actually is. Astro Bot is a really good game. It's worth getting if you have PlayStation VR, but damn, it's not even remotely near being VR's Mario 64 moment. And no, it's not amazingly sharp looking that it looks like they've made it look better than it should. For me, it's what I expect a PSVR game to look like when they haven't had to cut back on the visuals resolution AA. Maybe it's because other PSVR titles sometimes have to scale back on image quality that it looks good compared to those, but it's still nowhere near as sharp looking as what you'll get on PC headsets. I just get the feeling that Upload VR 8.5 and Destructoid 7.5 are some of the sites that didn't just go, holy shit, a really great platformer in VR, 10 out of 10. I really don't know what Road to VR was smoking. However, if I had a YouTube channel, I'd be on a Uplay level rant right now. So that is Fluke. That was a couple of days ago. So he's saying it's a good game. It's very good. He's just saying, like, people are going way the hell overboard. And all I can say is, personally, I just got to call it the way I see it. So I'm going to call it the way I see it. I stick to my guns. I'm sticking to my guns. In fact, I'm sticking to my guns even more so than I ever have been, because of the reality is I was just in Astro Bot last night, played more of Astro Bot last night. I got past the third boss, which is this bird, and I got to the level where there is a gigantic robot, and it's kind of Jack and the Beanstalk. It's like a Jack and the Beanstalk level with the giant robot. I got to that level, and then I got past that level, and I'm in the level now where it's kind of like a carnival. It's kind of like an amusement park. And I'm not changing my opinion in any way, shape, or form. In fact, if anything, I'm probably strengthening my opinion. I go back to what I said that very first day. I still think, now, is this VR's Mario 64 moment? No. Because if it was, there wouldn't be a debate. It would just be known. Like, nobody was debating when Mario 64 came out that it was a freaking killer app. Everybody knew that. There was no freaking debate back then. So if there is a debate, then that basically means that it's not. It's not the killer app you wanted it to be if there's any kind of a debate. A killer app has no debate. So I will agree with the fact that it isn't VR's Mario 64 moment. Tom Lloyd says Sonic was great. And you know, it's interesting because most often when we hear people talking about Astro Bot, usually they're comparing it to Mario. And they're saying, you know, there's a lot of Mario in Astro Bot, but I've noticed there's a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog actually in Astro Bot. I can't help. I'm playing through Astro Bot and I'm like, that reminds me of Sonic the Hedgehog. This reminds me of Sonic the Hedgehog. So there's actually quite a bit of Sonic in Astro Bot as well. I mean, it has a ton of Mario in it, no question about it, but there is a bit of Sonic as well. So anyway, that was Fluke's comment on that. And so Fluke says, yeah, I love a good platformer. I backed the Yooka-Laylee Kickstarter, for example. Moss was good, so was Lucky's Tale, and Astro Bot is better than both of those. It's just not the second coming. And but I think it's dramatically better than Moss and Lucky's Tale. Like, I think it is like Moss and Lucky's Tale are here, and Astro Bot is like here. Like, it's a whole nother world, in my opinion. That's my take. Because every single level I get into Astro Bot, every single level, like that level right there with the giant robot, man, that was super impressive. Like, I'm just like giggling to myself as I play it because I'm like, oh my God, this is just so damn good. My complaints with Astro Bot is, number one, the game is really, really easy. Number two, I really wish I could rewind. And sometimes the camera does cause a little bit of issues. But other than that, I love it. I have a little montage that I whipped up for a game that is called Scraper First Strike. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this on the screen. So Scraper First Strike, this is a game that I've known about for quite some time. This was an old logo that it has. It's being brought to us by Labrodeck Studios. And these are some old screenshots. I'm going to go ahead and go to full screen mode right now. Okay, so these are some old screenshots of Scraper. It's like Skyscraper, but it's called Scraper First Strike. These are some old screenshots from a long time ago. Very much work in progress screenshots. Now we have the new logo. It is called Scraper First Strike Episode 1. That is the new logo right there. We have a couple of new screenshots. Here's a couple of new screenshots for it. And then we're going to go into the trailer that has been released for this. It's a PlayStation VR trailer for the game. Okay, let's go ahead and check this out. Then we can talk about it right afterwards.
What do we know about LCFR, or Cypher, as he calls himself? We know Icarus Laboratories produced him 7 years ago, and that he's the most powerful and advanced AI ever created. We know they built him to oversee millions of Humech robots and to manage our Scraper megacities. Icarus assured us the only path forward was to put the fate of humanity in his hands. But when Cypher says he'll take care of us, do we really know what he means?
Okay, so that is Scraper First Strike, Episode 1, and that is coming December to all the major platforms. It is coming to PlayStation VR. This is a Twitch stream here with some actual gameplay. I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume down, but I'll go ahead and let that play in the background. So here's the thing. Scraper is a game we heard about a long time ago, and it's one of these games we were keeping our eye on but weren't really covering very closely. And this is a game that has made it onto the top 40 most wanted for Oculus Rift, the top 40 most wanted for HTC Vive. We didn't know that it was a PlayStation VR game until very recently. We found out there's a PlayStation VR version as well. And this is apparently coming in December of this year, so it's a couple of months away. We don't have a locked-in release date for it. And what it's kind of about is basically you're in, it's like almost 100 years into the future, and humanity has kind of coalesced into these mega cities, these giant cities with ridiculously gigantic skyscrapers that go way the hell up. And basically all of humanity is living in these skyscrapers. It's kind of like a Robocop kind of a future. It kind of reminds me, you know, like how Robocop is Detroit, and it's kind of this future Detroit. It's like a militarized thing, and like everybody's living in these giant mega cities. That's kind of what Scraper First Strike is all about. And so what your mission is there is this AI, Cypher, that has been designated as like the caretaker of humanity, but you know, it's going wrong, and these AI robots are like killing citizens and all this stuff. And so what you're supposed to do is you're kind of working from skyscraper to skyscraper, going through them level by level, and you're taking out these AI enemies. And I don't know a ton about it other than that, but that's kind of the premise. This is some Twitch gameplay that somebody did, but let's listen in on this for just a second. Let's check this out for a sec.
Still inspecting stuff.
There we go. Now he's very nice. He was a little bit rude before, but we had to kind of, scold him.
Oh, this looks really cool out here.
Yeah, I do think, now there's the actual cars out. I'm like, I knew it was nice before, but I'm like, there's something missing. Like, what about the moon and the...
The moon looks cooler now. Yeah, there was a little bit of like a crescent.
Yeah, so not super exciting on this Twitch stream here, but they're just kind of like moving through. It shows you a little bit of the way the levels work, and there is free locomotion, so that is good news. So the game does have free locomotion. I don't know that I'm like super hyped at all for this game, Scraper First Strike. Like, it's not very high on my personal most wanted list, but you know, this is a new game. We do want to stay abreast of this situation. We want to know about all the big games that are coming down the pipe. And this is one that is scheduled for September. And it's another PlayStation game that we can add to the mix as well. So there is a game that we can take a look at. The number one thing that's going on the Vive subreddit today is this thread, anyone else getting burned? And I didn't know what this was about. I thought it was maybe like some kind of HTC support thing that was going on. And then I clicked on it and I saw this guy's head. Yeah, see how this guy has a little burn spot on the top of his scalp? So a pro tip for bald people: the Vive wireless adapter gets hot with prolonged use. This guy got about an hour and a half into Oregon Quarter, which is a freaking awesome game, by the way. I love Oregon Quarter. I just love the vibe, man. The vibe of Oregon Quarter is a depressing, overbearingly depressing kind of environment. Just a drab, dreary, horrible place. And I love it. I love it for that because it really gives me that feeling, and I love that. But he was in Oregon Quarter. He started to feel some pain on the top of his head, and he realized that he was cooking his own scalp. The numbness tells me that he, in fact, has given himself a first-degree burn. So, yeah, you guys need to be careful out there, man. And one of the things this guy says is the game felt like it had so much potential, but it was designed for, at most, a 1 or 2 hour tech demo. I guess the nice thing is you can easily finish it in the 2-hour refund period. Nah, man, that is not good. That is bad karma, bro. Don't you guys believe in bad karma? I honestly, I'm going to be serious here for a second. If you guys are buying games on Steam and you're using that 2-hour refund policy as a way to demo games, that's not cool. That's not cool. I think if you ask 90% of the developers out there, 90% of the developers will say, nah, bro, that's not cool. Now, if you legitimately buy the game, with the intention of, I have every intention of keeping this game, I am going to keep this game, I bought this game, I'm into this game, and you play it for a half an hour and it's just garbage, that's one thing. Go ahead, refund the game, no problem there. But if you literally go through the entire game and beat the game and then get your money back, and you think, like some of these people that do that, like some people have it in their head. Paul Smith says, I like how this show isn't safe. Yeah, this is not safe. I say a lot of things. I put my foot in my mouth a lot. I go out on a limb quite a bit, and I probably screw myself sometimes with some of the stuff I say, but you know what? That's the way I like to do it. Like right now, I'm going to go out on a limb right now and talk about this idea. People have this idea in their heads that they can get over on somebody else or something, or getting over on the man. And I'm going to go into a slight little idea here in terms of like psychology and stuff. There's no getting over. There's no getting over. If you think you're getting over on somebody, you're getting over on yourself. I know people that cheat on their taxes, and they cheat on their taxes and they brag about it. Like they'll brag about it to me. I know somebody that cheats on their taxes and they brag about how they save themselves an extra $5,000 by cheating on their taxes, and they think they're getting over on Uncle Sam. You know, I'm getting over on the man, bro. I'm getting over, man. But you know what? It's my opinion. Now, I know this is like almost getting into like metaphysical type shit, but in my opinion, you're going to pay that $5,000 one way or another. Something's going to happen in your life. You're going to pay that $5,000. There's no getting over, y'all. There's no getting over. So if you're going to buy a game and play the full 2 hours and return it and get your money back, you're only getting over on yourself. And these devs are not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of that. And you could disagree. You can disagree with what I'm saying here. And you could believe, no, you can get over. You can get away with murder, man. There's people that got away with murder. Look at O.J. Simpson. He got away with murder. I don't think anybody gets away with murder. Because if you murder somebody, don't you think those people are laying in their bed at night, every single night, and they're having visions of the murder that they did? They're having visions of killing that person, and it freaking haunts them. Not just when they go to bed at night, but all throughout the day, every day of their life, they're being haunted by shit. You can't get over on anything. So the magic rule is treat everybody the way you would like to be treated. So imagine you're a dev, you come out with a game that only lasts an hour and 45 minutes, and imagine thousands of people buy your game, they play it for an hour and 45 minutes, and then they refund it. Like, if you were a dev, would you be happy about that? But anyway, guys, I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day. Take it easy. And do not rent games on Steam, guys. Don't do it. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy. Have fun. Later. Yeah, I know Tribal is quit, but maybe you can come on here and shoot the shit for a minute. But anyway, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy. Later.